Hello, Braves Country. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Braves Country Convos. Lauren and I are clearly here in sunny Northport, Florida at the spring training home of the Braves.
I know I might take my jacket off soon because
yeah,
it's warm.
Do what you need to do. Remove the layers. It starts out in the 50s and now we get up into the warmer temps. And we are with an extra special guest today, the one and only First Lady of the Atlanta Braves, Miss Terri Weiss. Terri, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you. And this is one thing that I've just been curious about. So we're going to jump right into it.
Okay.
How did you and Walt meet?
Yeah, everyone always wants to know that question. But it's we were with a group. I was a group of ladies, and he was a group of guys, and there was probably 7 of us. So we were at a bar restaurant, and we all sat down in a booth. One of my friends knew one of his friends, and we sat down in a booth, and he sat next to me. But crazy story, I had never been to a baseball game. Ever.
Oh, wow.
My whole life. So I thought his last name was Rice, R-I-C-E, because I'd never heard of the
How
name.
old were you guys, too? So
young.
I guess what year?
Young. It was in 88, his rookie year.
Okay.
So I grew up in a really strong football family. And so my brother didn't play baseball. I have one brother. And so I'd never been to a baseball game. I wasn't familiar with the sport at all. And so...
so what he did didn't faze you? You were like, what?
Well, I had no idea what I got myself into until actually that was in 88. And then 89, he was playing for the Oakland A's, and he was injured in May. And so then he never went on the road. So then I really had no idea how much they were gone and what this life looked like. And then we got engaged that year, at the end of the year. And then, I was in too deep to know. I oh my gosh.
I'm already in love with you. I can't go back.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And, God has a great sense of humor because never been to a baseball game. And he played for 14 years. And then God blessed us with 4 boys. And I sat on in the bleachers and on the benches for how many years? Yeah. So I know a lot about baseball. So when the boys say, Mom, you don't really know that. I go, yeah, I do. And then Walt will go, yeah, she does. Yeah. I know enough to be dangerous.
You've had a front row seat for a long time.
Yeah.
Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So you mentioned before we started that you're from California. And I think Walt grew up in New York.
He did.
Right? Okay. So once he got drafted and was with the A's, that's where, so are you from Northern California?
I am from Northern California. Okay. Yes, I'm from Northern. I was actually born in Kentucky.
Okay.
And then when I was in 6th grade, my dad got transferred, and we ended up in the Bay Area. And that's how Walt and I met. 2 complete different coasts. And and he had a very strong accent at the time.
Oh, really?
Yes, he worked really hard to get rid of his accent. So pretty funny.
Oh, that's awesome. You mentioned you've got 4 boys.
Yes.
So tell us kind of about them. And so you got engaged at the end of his rookie season, dove right into the baseball lifestyle. So what was it like getting adjusted to the baseball lifestyle while also how many years until y'all had your first son?
Right away.
Okay. So you just dove right in all around.
Yeah. But I didn't have my second one for 6.5 years.
Okay.
Because then I'm like, whoa. Yeah. Yeah, he was with Oakland for 5 years, and then we got traded to the Marlins, but we still made California home.
Okay.
And then when he signed as a free agent with the Rockies, we decided that life in the middle of the United States is easier to travel back and forth, being centered. So then we had our other 2, or actually our other 3 were all born in Colorado. So we just kind of set our roots down there.
So what do you remember, I guess, about that newly married time? Like you said, you didn't really know what you were getting into with baseball. So you get married and you have this baby and you're kind of thrust into this life. What do you remember about from back then?
I remember there was no childcare back then. So babies were just all over you. You know what I mean? You sat in the stands with your kids.
Wow.
Yeah. The Oakland A's, what was a rookie, but it was an older team. So there was a lot of older women on that team, which was nice. And unfortunately, Walt had a lot of injuries when he was with the Oakland A's. So that, I think as a baseball player, baseball wife, that is probably the hardest thing you deal with are the injuries and the setbacks of that, because those are the things you can't control,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So then when you went to, you moved across the country down to Miami.
Yeah.
So what's
We only had one.
okay?
And so he was in kindergarten, and took him out for spring training.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, then we actually put him in school in Florida. And then
Okay.
after the season, we went back to California, and I was pregnant with my second one. And then he signed with Colorado, and then we bought a home in Colorado. And
Okay.
that's when we started banging out kids, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that uncertainty like when you're moving to a new team
Yeah, that's
and you're having to make new friends and figure things out, and then you move again?
that's challenging. I think that we kept hearing he was going to get traded, and back then, I don't know about now, but back then you just had to be there the next day. Like, the wife packs up everything, the kids, you've got to find another place to be. So we were very fortunate that he got traded in the off season. It was never during the season.
Oh,
He had a
nice.
pretty, stable career.
Mhm.
And then, we ended up here with the Braves the last 3 years. And that was probably our most challenging out of all the years that he
Really?
played. Yeah, I'm not sure if you know, but our second one went to that water park and got E. coli
Oh
the
my
first
goodness.
year. And so he was 3 years old. Yeah. And so we had come down for opening day. We only had 3 boys at the time, and we went back because the oldest one had to finish school, and then we were coming out. So we came. Walt had those raw, rare, sacred off days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we came down on a Thursday, went to the water park, and by Sunday, Brody got really sick, and yeah, he was in the ICU for 2 weeks, and was
Wow.
yeah, he was in critical condition for a while.
Was that at Children's?
It was at
Carolina?
Scottish Rite.
Scottish. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there were 26 of them
Just-
in the Atlanta area that were sick.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
From
They
this
all
water
traced it
park?
back to the water.
Yeah, from the water park.
Oh, my
So,
goodness.
yeah. So that was tough,
That was in the middle of the season, right?
It was in the
So he
middle
was
of
dealing
it's
with that.
really a crazy story because Walt was having such a phenomenal year.
Oh, of
And
course.
that just, so he went on the road. Of course, he went on like a 12-day road trip. I didn't know a single soul in Atlanta. I didn't know anyone because we had been in school. So we just moved here. Moved for the season. I didn't know anyone. And Brody had shown signs of sickness, but we had no idea to what degree.
Sure.
And then, of course, he goes on that Montreal road trip. Yeah. And
Couldn't
Brody.
have been Florida
No,
or something easy.
It had to be one that you needed a passport to get back
Oh
home.
my God.
Yeah, and so Brody took a turn for the worse, and we ended up in ICU, and he was in complete kidney failure, and the doctor came in. I'll never forget because we were in the room. I was in the room with Brody. I had 2 other kids. I
Yeah.
called my dad. You have
How
to get
old
here.
were the other two?
Bo was a year, and Blake was 7 or 8. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Oh
I just
my
remember it
gosh.
was like, I'm here by myself, and my son
Yeah.
is going to be transported up to ICU. And I remember looking at the screen, and they had the Braves game on what was playing short. And the doctor came in, and she came in, and she said, "Were you at this water park?" And I said, "On this day?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Well, we have 3 other children upstairs that were all at the water park. We think he's been contaminated with E. coli." And I felt like a rock had just dropped from the sky and right on my head. And I'm like, "Well, it's playing. He has no idea."
You're
And
literally watching him play on the
yeah, and
TV.
he has no idea what just dropped. And so we ended up in ICU, and it took Walt some time to get out of Montreal because he wasn't traveling with the team. It was before 9/11, and so things were nuts. And so
And you
that
can't
was
just
2
send a
weeks.
text.
Yeah.
Like,
And we
forgive me,
lived-
my generation. I'm like, were there phones?
No,
Like,
no.
how
there
did
wasn't
you
a
even
text.
get
There
in
was
touch
him
with any-
walking into his room and seeing the light on his phone,
Wow.
and me
it's-
dropping the news. You have to come home.
Wow.
Brody's really sick. And so he fought for his life. It was traumatic for at least 2 weeks. And we slept, Walt and I, he obviously didn't play at that time. And we slept in the waiting room with the other parents in sleeping bags because it was so touch and go.
I
with
guess the
oth-
parents of the other kids
Yes,
that also.
yes. And it was a media frenzy back then.
Mm.
It was just crazy. And so But Brody did make a full recovery, and
That's
that
great.
was, yeah, it was amazing. And I'll never forget, we're walking out of the ICU room, and the other two were still in ICU, the other two sick patients. So we had our heads down. It was somber because we just felt bad.
Mm-hmm.
And we get down to a regular hospital room, and at this point, you're like, okay, he's going to make it, right? We're out of the tough spot. And it came across the ticker that Walt made the All-Star game. And I'm just like, no way. He's waited his whole career.
Wow.
I know.
Oh,
I know. I know.
man.
I know.
About
But at
highs
the
and lows.
time, you're like,
Yeah.
it doesn't compare to your child being okay.
No.
But what a blessing, you know? And Brody was too sick to, it was ironic. It was back in Colorado. We had just left Colorado.
Oh.
So the owner of the team sent his private jet and picked Brody and I up to come back to Colorado so he could come to the All-Star game.
Well,
So,
And thank you for just sharing that whole experience,
yeah,
because I feel like, you know, the life of being married to a professional baseball player can
yeah.
be so glamorized, but like this is the kind of real life
Oh, no.
stuff. Like,
There's nothing glamorous about it. It's an adventure. It is an adventure at all times.
that's a perfect way to describe it,
Yeah.
I feel like, an
Yeah,
adventure.
it's an adventure. I'm like, what? Where's the glamour? You know?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
So I guess,
Yeah.
what did that experience kind of teach you guys? Like, what are your biggest, I guess, takeaways just from?
I think that for Walt, it gave him great perspective on the game. At the end of his career with the Braves, he had an opportunity to go play in St. Louis for Tony La Russa, who had played for with the A's. He had like a
Okay,
2-year
that's right.
deal, and he opted. He's like, I need to be around my family,
Mhm.
and so he did. Yeah. So that was his takeaway. My takeaway is just, I don't know, you run around with your hair on fire, just praying. Like, is everybody gonna be all right? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he retired for a year, okay? And then he went right back into the game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Atlanta was his last stop as a
It
player,
was.
correct?
It was.
And then y'all went back to your home base in
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah.
And then he, if I'm not mistaken, joined the Rockies.
As an assistant.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
right.
he
Okay.
did. Which was nice because when they went on the road, he didn't go on the road.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I was going to ask like how
Yeah.
that going from a player to a coach,
Right away.
yeah, how that was different.
Yeah.
It was.
You know, to be honest, I always envisioned when he was done, because it is challenging raising people by yourself. And life happens, right?
Mhm.
During the season. Just because baseball life starts in February and ends in October, there's a lot of life to be lived.
Yeah.
A lot of sicknesses, a lot of,
And that's
first
all
time
on you
moments.
completely.
Yeah, and first time moments that you're missing. And I'm just like, I'm ready to be done.
Yeah.
But when he did take that year out, he was pretty miserable.
Really?
Mm.
Because, I mean, you've done this your whole life. And I felt like, he needed to be in the game somehow. He needed to be connected somehow. Even though he loved being at home and that part of it, it looked different. I'm like, I can't wait to camp. I can't wait to do this. And
Go, list.
I did have a list, right? But like, when I'm dragging him along, that we went to Yellowstone, we did great things.
Yeah.
So it was perfect. I know that I think Clint Hurdle was the manager for the Rockies at the time, called and said, hey, will you be my hitting coach or bench coach, one of the two, when somebody got fired that year. And I looked at him. I'm pregnant now. I'm
Oh,
pregnant
gosh.
with our fourth.
With 4.
Four.
Okay.
I'm pregnant with 4 at this point. And
Oh, boy.
Bo, third in line, he was born with a severe club foot. So he had to have some major surgeries. And so at 5, while I'm 7 months pregnant, he has to have a major surgery and cast it to his hip. So I'm pregnant, dragging Bo around as a 5-year-old because he can't walk. And it was just, and I looked at him like he had 3 heads. What? What do you mean? He asked Jay, he goes, I told him, I just can't. I will do the assistant part. And that's what he did. And that worked really well for us.
I feel like that was like a good probably transition into
It
like,
was.
getting
It
back
was
into
perfect.
it, but not
It was
having to
enough
be-
for him, and it was, to still be a part of the game, but to be home to raise the boys, to help raise the boys.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so that was nice. And then he didn't go really full time again until he managed for the Rockies.
Okay.
Yeah, and the boys were older then.
Yeah.
you know?
And were they into sports as well and all the
Yes,
activities?
yes. I have a flat butt because of all the bleachers I've sat on for 36
I
years.
use that excuse too. Yes. Yes.
Oh, does
36
that
years.
happen after kids and
No. I mean, I'm like, I don't know how many games I've been to, but it's been a lot. Yeah. The first, Blake is our oldest, and he was mostly a football track kid.
Okay.
Okay.
Didn't really play a lot of baseball, but the other three played collegiate baseball.
Oh, did they?
They did. So it was, I don't know if you know anything about tournament ball, but on Saturdays, you're playing 2 games to see where you see it on Sunday. So that would be like, 6 games that I'd be trying to make myself available to.
Yeah, I played travel softball growing up.
So you know.
And my oldest plays softball. My youngest plays baseball now. The 4-year-old, we don't let her do anything yet.
you're like, I
There's-
can't
yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't
be in all
figured out
those
how to do
places at
that.
once
Yeah,
yet.
But
It's hard.
yeah, the tournament. So, and yours were kind of spread out. So
Yes.
they were probably playing tournaments on the same weekends.
Oh,
but
of
were they
course
different places?
Oh, no, they were all different places.
Oh,
My
okay.
mom actually had moved to Colorado, so that was extremely helpful.
I was gonna say,
Um,
did you have any help? Like how?
No, I never had it.
Wow.
Just family. But yeah, you
Yeah.
just make do, right? You
Yeah.
just make do. And yeah,
So you said Bo had the club
club
foot.
foot. Mhm.
So with the surgery, that fixed it all, and he was able to go on and have a normal.
Yeah, he has a
normal
great story.
Great.
He had a pretty severe club foot. So when he was born, like, what is wrong with his foot?
And did you not know
I
until
had
he
no
was
idea.
born?
They
Okay.
do know now. Like, if you have
Yes.
club foot, you will know.
Okay.
And because they've come up with such great cameras and
And the
ultrasounds and all that.
Okay.
But I had no idea. But, his foot was facing his face.
Interesting.
Yeah, he would have walked on his ankle had it not been fixed.
Yeah.
So they started casting him at 4 days of age, and we casted till he was 8 months of age. And then we had it's called clubfoot release surgery. So he had a big surgery. So I do feel like when Walt was playing for the Braves between the E. coli and then Bo with the club foot, it was really a challenging time of medical for us, and then Bo had another big surgery when he was 5. And then great story. He ended up, he still has, a pretty severe club foot. But he was able to pitch. He went to North Carolina on a scholarship.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So he did well. He did well with
Good.
his foot. Yeah.
Well, that's a great story of just
Yeah.
how you just deal with what you need to deal with and you overcome it. And I'm sure he probably did any doctors tell you like, oh, he's never gonna play sports or
It's
run?
crazy, right? In Denver, we have this adversity award that the newspaper, when we had newspapers, it gave out, and they would pick an athlete for the whole state of Colorado. And they picked Bo
Wow.
for overcoming it. And because he never used it as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're all giving certain types of adversities in our life. And that was his. And he's like, the doctor that Bo had was amazing, and she never put limitations on him. We went and saw a doctor in Baltimore thinking, oh, let's get a second opinion, see if this can be fixed a little bit better than what it is. And, he kind of set some limitations for Bo. And we're like, oh, okay, well, we're going to go back to our doctor in Denver.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he never put limitations on himself.
That's great.
Yeah. So,
That's
yeah.
Man.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess on a kind of a different note,
Sure.
you got to experience some World Series championships and
Yeah.
fun. What did that look like from your eyes? Like did you get to be a part of the parade, and how did that work with your family? Like were the boys involved? And
For the Braves,
Yeah.
this last one,
Yeah.
just Brock.
okay.
Because, the other ones are older and have jobs and everything's last minute. But yes, they came to the World Series. But Brock got to take part. Yeah, and he's the youngest.
That's right.
Yeah.
But Walt won one with the A's too, right?
Yes, he
Okay.
did. But that one was a little different because it was that was when the earthquake hit. That was in '89. So San Francisco and the A's were right in the middle of getting that series started, and that earthquake hit. So it didn't feel as great because it put a damper on the whole mood.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't
people
know
lost their lives, people lost their homes and stuff in the Bay Area, and
so then to be celebrated.
yeah,
Right.
so they postponed that World Series almost 10 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it was such a disaster. So that one felt different.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking he was hurt for one of them for Oakland. And yeah, they're all special. And then 2 of them were able to come to the Yankees one when Walt played for the Braves.
Okay.
Yes, and they remembered that. But Bo was a baby, and
Yeah.
Brock wasn't born because he was the retirement baby. So yes.
The retirement baby.
Mhm.
Does he know that?
Yes.
Love
He's
it.
He's very aware.
Oh man. So talk to us about how you've got this great life in Colorado. The kids are growing up and thriving and playing, and then Walt ends up back in Atlanta.
Yes. He had just come off managing for the Rockies, and so then he took a year off. Felt a little beat up after that, and so so Brock was going. All the other boys were out of the house by this time. Brock was going into 9th grade in high school when he came back to the Braves, so he was very excited, and he ended up playing here at Reinhardt.
Oh,
Yeah, because he played at UCCS in Colorado his first year and wanted to be closer. And so then he transferred to Georgia. So that
how
made it
cool.
really nice because he's got to spend a lot of time with Walt.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So how when Snit retired, what were those conversations like with Walt? Did y'all have to kind of talk about like you're gonna throw your hat in the ring? What were those emotions like?
I knew that
he
exactly. Yeah. Well, we knew that we were either going to have no job or a really good job, And so that's hard. I mean, it is hard because life looks a lot different with both of those scenarios. And so, Walt wasn't too sure what was going to happen. I know he interviewed in the very beginning with Alex and felt like that went really well. And we did a big trip in Utah. We did all the state parks or the national parks during that time, got away from phones and just got into the beauty of nature. And that was really good. And then when we got back, he found out. So yeah, we were like, whoa, deep breath and let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
do this
awesome.
thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What do you really like about Atlanta?
I'm an outdoor enthusiast. I love the outdoors. So in Colorado, I do a lot of hiking. So when I come to Georgia, Walt and I always hike down by the river, that trail down there.
Yeah.
That's not too far from the Battery. And I love your beauty. I love the greenness. I love the forest. I love that. I always say your forest is loud compared to our forest.
Really?
Yeah,
Why do you
because
think
you
that
have
is?
because it's so dense. You have so many trees. We have a lot of just evergreens and pines. And so our forest is a lot quieter. So I always say it's such a beautiful state with its greenery and its flowers and your rolling hills. I mean, those are the things I love about your state. It is a beautiful state. In Colorado, we're beautiful, but we're beautiful in a different way. We don't just have hydrangeas going up. I mean, you have got to baby those things.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That's the
yes.
craziest thing to grow here.
Oh, I know. They're wild. I mean, like,
Azaleas,
oh my gosh, those are so beautiful. In Colorado, you've got to make sure they're in a corner where they don't get wind or maybe hail or, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I do like about Georgia too, because you've got the mountains in the north, foothills, you've got a beach and the coast.
Yes, it's got
plains,
everything.
A lot of forests. Like you could do a lot all around.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much of a green city it was until I started kind of traveling around to other cities. And I was like, oh, these are kind of ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up I'm from Augusta, so I went to the Masters a lot, which is like the pinnacle of beauty and nature and greenery.
Yeah.
And then, you don't realize like, oh, not everywhere else is like this.
Yes, exactly. So then when I come here, I'm like, it's so beautiful.
Where did your love for just nature and all things outside come from?
Probably my father. Yeah, my dad. Before he married my mom, who's going to be a park ranger, then he said, she costs too much, so I'm going to have to go get a different job. So, my dad probably. And so I love nature. I do a lot of hiking in Colorado. Love the mountains.
That's a great spot for that. Yeah.
Yeah, love the mountains. So we spend a lot of time up there, me and the boys.
Did you do a lot of skiing, snowboarding, winter sports too up there?
Not so much anymore. And I think what happened was once the boys started getting on scholarships in high school, like you can't go tell your coach you just broke your arm because you were snowboarding down the hill.
I didn't
So
think
once it
about
got
that.
serious, that's actually when we bought our house in Florida. we have a house down in Sanibel area.
Mm-hmm.
And so we bought a house down there so that, you know, the boys weren't feeling like, well, I want to be on the mountain and I want to do this once they started getting older and weren't able to do those things.
Yeah.
I've got a safer escape down in Florida.
The water is really a lot more gentle than ice when you fall. Yeah. So
Very
you can
true.
surf. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So
Yeah.
what does life kind of look like for you guys now? I know we were kind of talking before this, but your youngest is 23. So
Mhm.
he's still kind of, like you said, on the payroll kind of at the house, but your other sons are grown. It's got to be like when we've just been sitting here, you obviously go through so much, like being a mom and just especially with your life, being married to someone that, you know, works in the MLB and you described it as an adventure. I'm sure life kind of is slower now, but how would you describe it,
Yeah.
what it looks like?
I mean, you would think that, but yeah.
But you're like, not
Travel
really,
so
actually.
much because then
Yeah.
you just have all your kids everywhere. And
Are they spread out?
Blake, the one that has the two twin girls, they are 3 miles. They moved 3 miles from us, so that is
Awesome.
fabulous. And Brody he went to school in Santa Barbara. He played baseball out there, and he stayed out there for about 10 years after college. And then now he's back in Colorado, which is nice. And Bo's in Salt Lake, and Brock is here. But
Okay.
you know, so yeah, I think it's nice when you get to this point in your life where a school schedule doesn't dictate your life. Think about all the years that you look at, okay, are you off this weekend? And, you know, summer looks different, but
Yeah.
now it's truly just looking at a baseball schedule to say dictates my life of where he's going to be and what I'm going to do.
Right.
But
So-
a lot of freedom. It is because you can pick up and go.
Yeah.
You know, as a mom, when you're the one home, they pick up and go every 10 days. But as a mom, I don't feel like I ever felt like I could pick up and go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had a list, 5 pages of what the babies, you know, whoever was watching
Oh my
needed to
gosh.
do. And so now for the first time, I'm like, I can pick up and go. There's nobody that I have to tell what to do.
That is nice. Have you picked up any like hobbies? Or I mean, I know you do the hiking and the outdoor stuff, but even back then when like the best advice I was given when I started having kids was just even if it's 20 minutes a day, find something to do for yourself, whether it's sit in a closet and read a book or
No,
like do you
yeah,
do you have
absolutely.
any hobbies now or anything you're
Yeah, and
You're up
I completely agree with whoever gave you that advice. It's so important that you have something of your own, right? Just something of your own. And so after I had Brock, he was about a year old. I did a lot of running younger because after I got pregnant, I didn't. But then when I got pregnant with Bo and I gained all this weight, I was like, how can I get this weight off with 3 kids really fast? So I started running
Oh.
because it was the easiest for me to escape, to get away. But so that led me into yoga.
Ooh.
And then so I was a yoga teacher. I started when Brock was here, 20-something plus years. I taught yoga.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I'm getting into that now.
Oh,
So I
good.
do a 20-minute morning flow just to get my
Uh-huh.
body
Yeah.
loosen because after 3 kids you're like, oh, I'm a lot stiffer than I used to
Yeah.
be. Things don't
I'm
move
on the
like that.
Pilates train right now. I was
Pilates
doing
is
like the
great
heavy
too.
weights and all that, and I'm like, I want something that I don't dread when I open my eyes in the morning and have to go drive to my workout
Yeah.
class. And how can you be mad when you're laying on a reformer for half the time?
Right. But now I
Yeah.
can tell when I don't do my yoga in the morning, which I haven't on this trip because we
Yeah.
have to be here at 5:45 in the morning. So
Yeah.
I'm not like Walt waking up at 4:30 to exercise. But yeah, now I can tell. So that's all. And it's like something you can do forever.
It's something you can do forever, and it's a compliment to anything you do.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Everybody.
I bet for running too. It's
Oh,
great,
yeah.
great.
I mean, for like Brock can barely touch his knees. I'm like, don't ever tell anyone your mother's a yoga teacher. Like, I'm embarrassed for you.
That's embarrassing.
But for me, it was just, I always taught the morning classes, which was prevalent women,
Yeah.
right? And I would always say, oh my gosh, no offense to anybody that's listening, but I would be like, it's so nice to be surrounded by estrogen. Like,
Oh,
it was
Yeah.
all females. Like, all my classes were all females.
And your house is all
And
male.
my house is all testosterone at all times. I mean, there's like 5 of them, and even the dog was a boy.
Oh my God. You
Yes.
couldn't even get the dog to be a girl?
That's what I'm saying. No, they didn't want a girl dog. I mean, so yeah. So it was nice to just to have that space that I had of my own and teach and encourage other women, you know, to take care of themselves.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
And I just love that you have 2 granddaughters now, and you can do
I know.
all the pink and all the
I
bows and
know.
all the girly
I
things.
love my daughter-in-law. She always says when she brings them over, "Is there anything you want them in?" Which is so kind, right? And I always say, "No, just make sure you bring bows," because I've never
So
gotten 2 bows.
sweet.
So as long as I have bows, I'm good.
So what is it? What's kind of the difference? Like, what is it like, I guess, compared like being grandparent to being a mom?
Oh, it's so awesome because you just go, "Here you go. I'm done." Well, at 5 o'clock when they're ready to come get the girls after they've worked, Walt and I are like, "Oh, okay." It's that relief of like you don't have to be responsible for someone,
Yeah.
right? As a mom, you're always responsible.
Mhm.
You know, it's always on your mind. Even when they're with a babysitter, you're like, I hope they're feeling okay today, or hope you know,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So that part is nice to be able to give them back, to love on them. It's funny. My oldest, the dad of the twins, sent me some emojis of my mom as my mother, and it was like a scary dinosaur. And then my mom as a
Yes.
grandmother, I'm just like, it was like a soft teddy bear. And I'm like, whatever.
I
Wasn't
see
that
I
mean?
see those videos where it's like, oh, when I wanted like McDonald's or like something, oh, we have food at
Yeah.
home, but when my grandkids want it,
Yeah.
pull the car
No,
right over and go
it's
get
very
it.
true, right? Yeah.
Yeah, my mom and mother-in-law are both amazing. But I'd be like, what did they eat when they were over there? And then the kids would tell me everything. And I'd be like, and then my mom would be like, well, she asked for another cookie. And I'm like, you're in control.
Just
Let-
because they
I
asked doesn't mean you have
know.
to say
I know,
yes.
and I've sat there, and that's frustrating too. But like, don't give him a bottle when
funny.
he's laying down in bed. I don't do that. But then, like, it's just a different mindset.
I think I'll be the same way. I'll be less as a grandma. I'm like, I'm not even gonna care
No.
when I give these kids.
It's so
Take
true.
it all.
Well, my husband and I have talked about it. Like, I don't want to buy like the super sugary cereals at home and stuff like that. But like, I want to give my parents full reign. Like,
Aw.
have at it there, because like I know that's so important. So it's like we'll be a little bit better at home, and then yeah, you can have all that junk when
That's
you
it, yeah.
go hang out with your grandparents.
And they look forward to coming over and hanging out with their
Exactly.
grandparents, so they get to do fun, special stuff, and
Yeah.
eat special things, and
Yeah.
that's part of it, right?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Yes, it is.
Well, what is one thing as we kind of wrap up? What is, or maybe more than one thing, that you want Braves country to know about Walt as we enter this new era of Braves baseball?
Yeah. Walt loves the game. Like it. Sometimes I'm like, who do you love more? But he really does love the game. He is so passionate about the game. Like I said, when he was out of the game for a year, that it was hard for him. I mean, he just truly loves the game. And when I think of all my hobbies, Walt has one hobby, and that's baseball. So I always say it's nice for the 1% of people that get to do their job that they truly love and are passionate about it, and you get to get paid for it. I mean, a lot of us can't say that, but it is who he is. And like I said, I drag him to the mountains, and I'm like, we're gonna hike, and he says,
We're gonna do
oh my
something
gosh.
different. We're gonna
Yeah, because I need more than just that,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And as a couple, we can do that together. Like on the All-Star break, he'll always come home to Colorado. We always go to the mountains,
Oh,
and he huffs and puffs up the mountain because it's altitude, and but it clears your head, and it's authentic and organic to be with trees, and look at something else that's not judging you at all times, and your W's and L's don't matter up here. And so I think that that's really important too. But he does love the game. He is really passionate about the game.
That's so hard for me to wrap my head around, that like he, when he retired and then a year
Yeah.
came back and
Yeah.
wasn't like ready for a break, ready for anything like that. Like he's like, okay, I had it. Like I want to get back to it now.
Yeah.
Wild.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And me never going to a baseball game. And then like I didn't envision my life, we've been married 36 years of being in baseball all this time. But we are. But we've made nice sacrifices, like things that are important to me, like going to Utah and doing the national parks.
Mhm.
Like he will always do it.
Mhm.
And, because he knows it's important to me.
Oh,
And I think
that's
it's
great.
important to get away from, all the busyness, right? And it's just consuming, and everybody wants to know something and whatever. So,
You keep him grounded.
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
It's good.
like as the manager, the buck stops with you. I can only
Yeah.
imagine the demands on your time and the questions and all this and
Yeah.
that. So to have someone that's like, let's get away and put our phones down.
Yes.
That's got to be a good balance for each other.
Yeah, and but we've been married 36 years. That didn't happen overnight.
There
We
you
were
go.
training. Both of us have been in training for a long time.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Well, I just loved hearing all of your stories because I'm like, oh my gosh, like it like you just never think about that kind of stuff. Like when you get married, I got married last year, pregnant with first baby. So I'm like,
I
there's
think
a lot
this
of
is
life.
the first time we've told everyone
Yes.
on this podcast. Lauren's got exciting news.
Yeah, having a baby in June. I don't know when this is coming out, but
That's awesome.
Sometimes.
but it's just so cool because you just never know what life's gonna throw at you, and it's why you pick the right person to
Yes.
experience all that with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're having our 10-year anniversary this year. So we've got 3 kids. But in March, my husband is being deployed for 7 months.
Oh wow.
So he'll miss the entire baseball season, but our
yeah.
anniversary and the kids' birthdays. And
Oh, I didn't know that,
yeah,
Tori.
you didn't know that?
Mm-mm.
I'll invite you to the party. We're gonna throw a little party.
Yeah.
So yeah,
please do.
what's your just kind of parenting and marriage advice for both of us, since you're in a different season and we're in little different seasons too.
Yeah. Yeah. Your husband's in the military?
Yes, in the
Okay.
Navy Reserves.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be gone
Yeah.
with 3
Yeah.
kids and a full-time job.
Yeah, well, and people don't realize how tough that life is. It is
Yeah.
a lot similar to baseball because
Yeah.
we don't live where we play. You know what I mean? Walt leaves in February, but he really doesn't come home. He'll come home when we play the Rockies for
Yeah.
3 days, but he really doesn't come home till October. So it's a lot of, to see them, it's a lot of travel, and
It's a long season.
yeah, and military is tough too.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
So we're figuring it out.
Yeah.
I've got some help lined up.
Oh,
and
good.
just maybe working from
I'll
home
be
a
really
little
pregnant, but I can help.
Yeah.
I'll come hang with the kids and hang out at a baseball game.
I'm a good delegator, so I
Ah,
think we'll be all right. But yeah,
Yeah.
just trying to figure out how do you set a routine to talk,
Yeah.
at the same time each week, so
Yeah.
that the kids have a good routine. And yeah, there's a lot to figure out, but
That's
It's a
so
journey. It's an
good
adventure,
now
yeah.
that you have, cell phones. Like we
Yes,
didn't
that's
have
true.
cell phones.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
there
I'm
was
like
no
trying to wrap my head
FaceTime.
around. Yeah, as you're like telling
Yeah.
all these stories, I'm like, oh my God, and it was like a different time. So like it made it 10 times harder.
yeah,
Yeah.
we do have
But we didn't
FaceTime.
know. At
Yeah,
the time. That's all we
It's
know.
true.
So yes, Walt has always really been God about, he'll call. We always talk at night. We always talk before he heads out to the ballpark because we know that we can't get a hold of each other for 3 or 4 hours to make sure everything's okay. So, just setting the times, because the phone can be hard too.
Yeah,
Sometimes talking on the phone is hard.
yeah.
You just have to do it.
And
Yeah.
he's been gone for weeks at a time before,
Uh-huh.
and might call at like 9 p.m. when I got the kids down, and I can't even formulate a thought.
Yeah.
Like my brain is
No,
so
you're
done
just
for the
toast.
day.
Yeah.
I'm
And it's like
I
you just want to like exist together,
Yeah.
but not exactly have
had
to just
so
like,
many
how's
things
your
to
day?
tell
What's
you.
going on? Yeah.
I don't even know what they were anymore.
Because you're exhausted.
You're exhausted.
You're exhausted. But it's just a
Yeah.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah. It
that's
is.
good
think that.
perspective.
Yeah.
too.
It is
It's a
just
season.
a season.
Mhm.
But it can be you have to be careful with your heart, right? And not become bitter.
Yeah,
Because we can, because
Mm-hmm.
we're like, really? Walt would call you, be having room service, and I got Bo throwing Cheerios across the floor. And like my life looks so much different than your life,
Mhm.
right? But I don't have the pressure that you do to perform. So it looks different.
yeah.
So
That's good perspective.
respecting each other's journey of how hard it is to be a mom by yourself and how hard it is to perform every day. So
I love that.
Yeah, that's a great
advice.
piece of advice.
Mhm.
I feel like I see a lot on social media that's like, remember, you're on the same team. Like you're not on opposing
yeah.
sides. You're on the same team. And
that's
having that at
great-
your core, I feel
Yeah,
like.
because
keeps
the
it-
enemy will attack you.
Yes.
Try to tell you that you're not some days.
Uh-huh.
No, we are.
And that's a great advice for your kids too, because when they were teenagers, I would say, do you realize we're on the same team?
Mhm.
Like I'm on your team.
I
not
want
tr-
what's best. I love you.
Exactly. And they're like, she's just trying to make my life miserable. But no, we're all on the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's part of it too, right?
Yeah. Well, the last thing we like to ask our guests, just a little fun question, is there anything that you're reading or watching or listening to these days?
Oh my gosh, I just read the best book, The Correspondent.
Ooh.
Is that okay? My mother-in-law was telling me
Oh,
who wrote
it's
that.
such a great book. I don't know who wrote it. Somebody
I'm
gave
really
it to
bad
me.
about knowing that.
And
What's it about?
It is about a woman, probably starts in her 70s, and she writes letters. So,
Yes.
yep, she writes
heard of
letters,
this.
and it's like her journey through life, later in life,
Ooh.
and it's a really good, like, oh, that was a great nugget. That's something I could take with me, like learning from other people's experiences. And, she really, in her book says, you only get one chance at this, and putting that in perspective too. And so it's good. And it's an
Okay.
easy read.
Oh, gotta
Yeah.
an easy.
Yeah.
You could do that, Lauren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just an
Yeah.
easy read.
Yeah.
great.
Reading's hard as a mom.
It is. I just got asked, guys. I got asked to join a book club.
Oh,
And I
there we
heard
go.
about the club.
Adding one more thing to your plate.
Oh,
You know,
my God.
but we just meet once a month for a
Nice.
couple hours.
Uh-huh.
Our next meeting is Saturday at a winery.
Fun.
So looking forward to
Oh,
it.
good for you.
I just get to meet. I have a few of the girls I haven't met, so I get to make some new friends,
Aw.
talk about our book, and drink a little wine. And
I
I'm
love that.
It's like
That's
I can't play
great.
tennis. I can't commit to like something
Yeah.
big like that every
Yes.
weekend. But like once a month, I can take a couple hours
Yeah.
and just go hang out, and then it keeps me accountable. Of like, okay, I know this month I'm gonna read this book. But yeah, I got to put that on my list because I've heard good things about. the
Yeah. I know as a mom, for me, I never read fiction. I always
Oh,
wanted to better myself. Like,
that's-
back then magazines were the thing. Right?
Uh-huh.
Like, oh,
yeah,
yeah. And so when I finally turned the page into fiction, I'm like, what was I doing? What was I thinking?
What was I?
But you just
thinking
don't
of?
have enough time. There's not enough
Mm-mm.
hours in the day.
No.
There just isn't. There's not enough hours in the day.
Mm.
So you do have to have something, even if it's just your book club.
Exactly.
But it's something that you can get away
Yeah.
from. Yeah.
Awesome.
I should start reading while I can and have
Yes.
time
I
to.
know. I didn't really start reading until my youngest was like 3, I think.
Yeah.
I picked it back up.
I will here and there, like especially like if I'm at the beach or by the
That's what I
pool,
was
but it's something I probably need to do because I've been, waking up in the middle of the night just for fun, laying there wide awake. So I should start reading instead of scrolling on my phone.
Put you back to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that would help.
It does.
That's
It's hard. Hard to read a book when you're so tired. You're like, it's going to take me a year to read this book because I read 2 pages and I fall asleep.
Same with watching a movie. It'll take me about a week to finish one movie.
Right?
I'm like watch it in 20-minute increments.
Because as soon as you sit down, you're ready to be.
You're so
like
tired.
this. Yes.
Ricky has a producer, Ricky. Well, I'm going to say assistant producer because Victoria's our main. But Ricky's got a almost 2-year-old, so he gets it. He gets it as well.
It's a lot of chasing going on.
Holy moly.
I know. I know. You wouldn't trade it for
sweet.
the world.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember those days of kicking off I would pick my shoes to know which ones I could kick off the fastest to go run after somebody.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
That is like probably the most boy mom thing
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. It's true.
That is
That's
funny. Oh, well, thank you for such a great conversation. It was so much fun
Pleasure.
just learning more about your family and just the adventure of life that you guys have been through.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank
We
you
look-
so much.
I look forward to seeing you around this year.
Yes, me
Yeah.
too. Me
Yay.
too. And good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.